Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to the next race in our. Well, those of you who came from the last race on the Free Enterprise channel, welcome, and welcome to any new folks who dropped by for this exciting elimination matchup between Marten Broadcloak and Sorbius. My name is Xenocat, and I am joined here in the booth by Asuka424. How are you doing, Asuka?
Work almost made this very interesting. Xenocat would have been doing this solo, but otherwise I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well myself. I am loving these fake objectives that we have here.
And I see one of our beloved Canadians, the Vanilla King himself, Dathis, also approves.
Yes.
I don't know if I think I'd come for the Ogopogo and then stay for the maple syrup.
Yeah.
Either way, maple syrup.
I mean, I think I would do that too. I don't know if I would necessarily go to Canada just for the maple syrup, but like once I'm there, it's probably good enough to stay there, you know?
I feel like it's that cartoon meme, or what's it called? The bad guy with the yellow things that are really annoying. It's like he's right next to a board. It's like it says all this stuff, and he's so happy, and then he reads the last one. He gets sad when he realizes it's true. Like Indespicable Me? Is that it? Something like that? I don't know. I haven't seen that. But anyway, so enough about stuff that I don't know about, and let's talk about stuff that I know only slightly a little bit about. These objectives.
Yeah, we have to defeat the Mega Sisters and defeat Rubicant. So we have 2 boss hunts, no character hunts for our random objectives. The other 3 objectives, complete Cape Magnus, forge the legend with the adamant, and trade the Pinktail, are the same for all of our matches in this tournament.
Yeah, and with that double giant, I don't know about you, but I'm always been a double giant. I kind of just jinxed myself right there. The double boss hunt, I would love to see that doubly on the giant. I'm not sure which one I'd want to put in which spot. Either way, I'd be happy with the rudeness. Maybe Magus Sisters into Ruby.
Mega Sisters into Ruby would definitely be ruder than Ruby into Mega Sisters, in my opinion, just because the Mega Sister, the element spot gets capped on HP for a single boss. But if it's the Mega Sisters, they get 3 different HP pools, which means they get a combined 100,000 HP, or a little more.
Yeah, I'm here for that then. I want to see Magus Sisters into Ruby.
Yeah, they're rude.
It's because we're nice, and we love wishing terrible, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad things to our runners, because we don't have to run it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with wishing that on a seed that I don't have to deal with. But I'm sure that there are other people who don't want that to happen.
But on the bright side, we do have that early, not quite quack kid yet with Palom. That's going to be nice as soon as he gets to Ice 2, or Nice 2 if you're grinding with that spell. The overworld's going to be a little bit easier. I'd like to see either like a physical fighter that can take a hit or 2, or maybe like a white mage. That white mage being Rosa, Porum, Sid with a couple Cure 3 pots, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, with this, Palom is a fantastic start. I would love to see actually a Porum, probably a little bit more than a Rosa, as the second character, if we are going to get a white mage, although Sid or Kane would be another fantastic early game character.
Very, very much so, especially with that axe go, or that axe go boom with him. But also quick shout out to our Night Mom Scala Kitty for telling us what Sorbius' naming scheme was. I had never seen Discworld before, and that's what it's from. And Marten is being sneaky and not showing us what funness he's named people.
I guess we'll just have to find out as we get the seed started, but it looks like we are getting started.
And it looks like today Palom will be babysat by Rosa. Oh, hi. So that's an interesting start there on all accounts.
This is a pretty strong start. We have a white mage already, and Palom is a very good black mage, and nice free pink tail. That will be half of an objective, and that's a blue robe, which is always interesting.
Yeah, that is either going to be a 3-hit and done Water Hag, or a why is this taking forever when this could be done 5 minutes ago alt gauntlet. I personally want to see Water Hag there because I'd rather see alt gauntlet in just really nasty spots or really long spots that shouldn't be.
That is definitely fair, although and especially with this Palom as the starting character, if he gets any levels whatsoever, he's going to be able to tear through that alt gauntlet pretty quickly. But it looks like both of our runners are stopping off in the town of Baron, where we find Kane having brunch with a lunar sparkle.
That Silent Staff's going to be pretty nice for our white mages, whether it's going to be Rosa or a different white mage in the future. A rare pickup from Rosa's mom. The bookshelf had a Stardust item, so that's going to be some nice AoE damage for any of the early bosses that they find.
For sure, that Stardust item is great to have in the early game and can do a lot of work on getting through some of these early bosses.
Also, I love the fact that they were literally in like lockstep for a couple seconds there. That put a smile on my face. Unfortunately, not so much lockstep anymore because they went to opposite sides of the overworld.
Yep, it looks like Marten Broadcloak is going to be taking some loot in Eblon Castle. This is a very respectable play. This Eblon Castle has very, very good loot, but as you can see, there are some trap chests in here, 3 to be precise. So you kind of have to loot around them at this stage of the game, as I don't think this Palom and Rosa are going to be able to handle any of the trap chests here.
Oh, absolutely not, especially with that low HP on either of them. The Gaia Drum and the Samurai Armor, those were very nice pickups there. Unfortunately, he's going to have to pick them up again because he found trap chest number 2.
I don't mind seeing seeing 2 trap chests early, because that means that there's fewer trap chests later, and you'll be able to do more uninterrupted. But we have our other main white mage, I should say, in Porum up on Mount Hobbs, battling it out with the Baron guards.
You know, I'm totally okay with seeing this because, I mean, with 2 twins, it could be Palom, Porum, Palom, Palom, or Porum, Porum. If you have 2, you can use the twin ability, which can cast 1 of 2 spells depending on how lucky you are. Either Flare or
Comet.
Comet, thank you. I was about ready to start putting Ferris Bueller there. But that's going to be really helpful with a lot of the overworld checks. And with 2 guards, that's a very quick fight. It's a good XP for characters and some really quick items. Like that nice assassin dagger.
But meanwhile, Sorbius was getting that for him. Marten Broadcloak has found a Stardust Rod, a ribbon, and a crystal ring of note in Eblon Castle.
Yeah, that is the power of T Wildish. It is slightly weighted, but it isn't so much as like a T Pro or even a T Standard. So in out of the way areas, you are going to get some pretty good items, and that Eblon Castle, definitely one of them. I usually see people going to either the castle or Watery Pass, but Marten, I know, tends to favor the castle, which definitely helped right there.
Yep, and we have our Nope Turtle out of the way already, just hanging out in Mist Cave, not very scary at all. Marten getting through that fight quickly, and looks like he's going to be heading into Mist Cave. This is a very nice place to loot, as the minimum tier of all these items is tier 3, and they can go all the way up to tier 6. Getting another crystal ring already. Well,
and samurai arrows too. Wow.
Oh, that is very good.
And the lightsaber.
That was the worst thing in that Mist Cave was a poison axe.
Cheers to you, Marten. That's something you really don't see very often. But while that was going on, though, I should say Sorbius was in Antlion Cave, and in my opinion, got a really shiny rock that can be sold right now.
Yeah, that is a Bahamut Orb. We have not found Rydia yet, but we've found all of the other sort of main black or white mages. We haven't found the red mages of Tella or Fu yet, but they cannot use the Bahamut Orb, and neither can any of the mages that we have, so probably going to convert that into a lot of cash, or might save it in case Rydia shows up.
Yeah, it's sometimes a hard sell to find something that strong that early with no character to use it. I'm kind of a fan of selling it, not just because my opinions on Rydia are very well known, but it's a very nice influx of cash. And with Escorter, up until the end of the race, cash can be kind of a difficult thing, especially if you find, well, Star Veils, as they've already been found. Find the Sirens, Bacchus Wines. There's so many things. Mute Bells, Hourglasses, so many things that you can buy.
There are definitely a lot of things to buy, and
I think Bahamut heard me.
So I think Sorbius is discovering that surprise, surprise, you go through the game, you get a Bahamut orb. This means that you will then fight Bahamut.
Yeah, and of course, if you sell the Bahamut, you find the Rydia. Just like if you truly want a Cecil, or 7.8 to 7.9 Sirens, you gotta sell the Crystal Sword.
No, the Crystal Sword is the best weapon in the game, and unless you're really late in the seed without a Cecil, you don't sell that. But that is a Magma Key from Fabul Defense, so fading Fabul looks to be not the play this seed.
So I kind of laugh a little bit cheekily on this, mostly because we had a race not terribly long ago where the Magma Key was given and both random objectives were on the hook route. So I hope it happens again, because I'm a nice person that wishes terrible things. But yeah, that is a very quick route underground, a free key item from the Fame Arch, a free key item from Shield 1 if you set that up, and those gated shops where you can start finding Siren.
Indeed, but it does look like Marten is heading down into the Antlion Cave, going to be getting his Bahamut summon. We'll see what he makes of that, and we will see where Sorbius is headed.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. It was mentioned in chat that looking at the grand scheme of things, Sorbius is a little bit ahead right now, but that's only because Marten took the time to get some extra loot. Paid out in dividends with just the amount of speedy burr that he can do with those crystal rings, but I'll be curious to see eventually when Marten goes for Bull. Hopefully he doesn't fade for Bull, to see if things pick up. But meanwhile, we have found out what that Lunar Sparkle is, having a conversation with the Cane, and it's D's Lunars. Well, singular D Lunar now.
I mean, this is one of those cases where there's two of the boss. There's two D Lunars. Why were they not taking up two seats? They were sitting in the same seat.
So free. Apparently it's last call and everything's free at the Baron Inn today.
Yep. Kane summoning his inner demons, who are Edge's parents. Make of that what you will.
And I'll be honest, this is a boss duo that you want to see somewhere that's rude, and only somewhere that's rude. It is as free can be. Its magic is terrible. It's a scripted fight that after, as long as the boss bit, or as long as no free bosses is off, you just sit through some very pitiful fire twos, and you win. So seeing it in this spot, it makes the Baron Inn play a lot easier, because it is in the heart of the two spots. But I'm pretty sure both our runners are just gonna be like, well, that's gone.
Yep. Marten getting through that D-Lunars fight a bit faster than Sorbius did, but just using the Stardust Rod to tear through that. But just getting a Strength Ring from getting through Baron Inn, I think the Cane's the real reward here.
Yeah, and that Cane's definitely going to be liking the axe in the inventory, that Strength Ring, maybe a Crystal Ring if you just want to be really cheeky on Marten's side of things. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate there.
Yep, and that Strength Ring does pretty much nothing for this party at this point, because we already had one of those in the starting kit.
I mean, it can be a good sell if you're really hurting for cash.
It doesn't sell for much. I mean, maybe we find a second person who can equip a strength ring. Maybe.
Ooh. Oh, that's cute.
That is a
That's
very
cute.
cheeky Chocobo Forest check, and that is a very spicy reward for that check.
Yeah, that power shirt. Kane is very thankful for that power shirt right now.
Yup. That will take his damage and just really boost it up.
I am interested that Sorbius, with the Magma Key, has chosen to go to ordeals first. I mean, if you had like a Cecil or a Tella, okay, that makes sense. You can get your Paladin online. Tella can be more than just an exit bot, but oh, nice wind spear. But yeah, instead of immediately going underground, which is what I do because I like getting key items or key item attempts. I'm curious as to why Sorbius is enjoying the scenery upstairs.
We do have 2 boss hunts, and while Ordeals is a fairly long check, it is long because it has 3 bosses.
True, that is very true. And I really want to see Magus Sisters on Bridge too, if that's the case.
If we see them here and they're not somewhere rude like the giant, Magus Sisters at Ordeals 2 would be quite a thing to deal with.
It would be quite an ordeal.
That it would.
While Antlion is somehow defying the laws of physics and burrowing through the bridge because it's creepy looking and it's allowed to. This is going to be a pretty straightforward fight for our characters as long as they don't use the fight command. Antlion is just going to go rawr and not do much.
Yeah, this spot has the lowest physical attack in the game, and unless you use the fight command on Antlion, all it does is physical attacks.
Yeah, it's a cute little ugly thing here. And meanwhile, the twins are just raining down comments on Antlion.
Yep. The twins doing their mini versions of Nuke and Meteor.
Oh yeah, those are. You know what? Today I learned, but there's a lot I don't know about this game. That's why I'm not competing.
Fire and Comet are just mini versions of Nuke and Meteor.
Ooh. So how about Mom Bomb in the back attack spot?
This is rude.
Yeah. It's a multi-stage fight where Mom Bomb gets into Swole Bomb and then blows up into 6 baby bombs. Because sure, let's make things simple and logical. But meanwhile, Marten is getting the Magma Key, so I'll be curious as to which way he's going to go next with it.
Indeed. We will see as this Mom Bomb fight it's going okay. The back row is pretty safe.
How much HP does this spot particularly have?
This spot has 3,000 HP base, but part of Mom Bomb's script, in order to make sure it gets to the final phase, is that it gets about an extra 9,000 hit points.
Oh, well then. That makes things a little interesting.
That only applies to these first couple of phases. Once it explodes into the bombs, then
then she loses the.
Yeah, then it goes. Then the bombs just have their own hit point pool. So not as scary, but it does look like Marten is headed underground.
Yeah, he definitely wants to get those free items and a little bit more scouting underway for what awaits him in the underground. Well, I mean, King and Queen did try to drag us into the Hades, so close enough.
Yeah, sure. Underworld, underground, basically same thing.
It's yeah. In somebody's twisted logic, that totally makes sense.
So our Solar Stories to ask you, chat, is the underworld under the underground? No, the Fame Arch is under the underground.
It's in the middle. It's like a sandwich. Whether or not it's similar to a hot dog is your own personal taste.
I think it's actually more similar to a Pop-Tart.
Oh, it depends. Well, what kind of... Would that be like a strawberry Pop-Tart? Maybe a s'mores Pop-Tart?
Goodness, I don't know. But what I
Things-
do know is that Marten is peeking the boss of Dwarf Castle, and Sorbius has just picked up a hook from Mount Ordeals.
And that not only opens up those Evelyn shops, opens up another character, but it does open up the completion of Objective 3.
Well, this is real good news for anyone who faded Fabul. That tells you that the Magma Key is there if you were to have faded it.
There are 3 bosses, Wyvern, Valvalis, and Golbez, that if they're holding the hook on the overworld, hooray! You don't have to take the hook route if you don't want to, because there's a Magma Key somewhere else. Unless, what is it? K unsafe or?
Yes, K unsafe. No, actually, it's B unsafe.
Thank you. Yeah, if Be Unsafe is on, then, well, too bad. But it's not on, so yay, Magma Key, which they already know about, clearly.
Yep, but that hook is also, will also let Sorbius complete objective number 3.
Now, this is, since we do have our flag on that pretty much limits most things to tier 6 and below, this pigtail is going to be one of the few times where you can actually pop a tier 7 item, which there aren't many of. There's one in particular that everyone loves to see if Cecil is in your party, but yeah.
I mean, the one I'm looking to see in this case is an Avenger.
That's tier 7?
Yeah.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, I would. I think Kane would really appreciate that.
Kane would like an Avenger. I believe Kane has nothing. I think on Sorbius' side, Kane has nothing but a Dwarf Axe.
Oh, yeah, started with the Wind Spear, switch the Dwarf Axe.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We haven't seen anything higher than tier 4 for Kane, so, and that Dwarf Axe is barely tier 4. It's only tier 4 because it back row glitches him.
Okay. Ooh, hey, but we have Wind Spears now, so we're safe.
Unfortunately, Drain Spears are not the greatest for Kane to wield. They're great for Edge. Edge can throw them and do a lot of damage, but they take a lot of stats away from Kane. And Kane without stats is just...
He's just sad Dragoon noises. But I did see a Rune Axe in there, so that is something to probably like file in the back of our runners' brains, if you will. For that Magus Sisters fight, because any type of mage killing weapon, you can do some pretty nice stuff with that. But oh, Sorbius has instead of turning into Pinktail, they are going to the Evelyn caves. So we'll see. We'll get to see some fun stuff there.
This could be a character in Boss Peak. This is the first gated character that we have access to other than Dwarf Castle, but Dwarf Castle you have to do a fight for. So this is just kind of hanging out here. And you will also get to see the boss at the Rubicon spot, so that'll take care of one of the bosses on the hook route.
And speaking of some good items, Sorbius just picked up a ribbon. Marten just picked up a silk web, and he's going to show us that the free chest is just an elixir, which sounds weird saying. But I saw those sirens, and I swear to Z, I'm like, sirens are almost always in Evelyn Castle, or Evelyn Caves. 8 out of 10 times that I've seen this flag set run.
Evelyn Cave shop is really loaded a lot of the time, but also in Evelyn Cave, elixirs. So why would we care about the free one in the Feymarch when you can just buy them?
Yeah, for all the money you don't have because you haven't sold a Crystal Sword yet.
Hey, in Sorbius' defense, he sold the Bahamut summon.
Smart man. Marten is going to see how much rudeness is awaiting from him in the King and Queen of the Feymarch spots. Words. Hey!
Oh, that's an objective. That is... We have found one of the bosses.
Biogo Pogo. Ogo Pogo! Yay!
This is a special Feymarch. This is a very special Feymarch.
This is called Marten is probably glaring at his screen right now, and Sorbius will be glaring at his screen right now. And also, of course, fight Ogo!
Sorbius, meanwhile, has peeked that character and that boss, but saw the Porum. I don't think Sorbius is very happy to see a duplicate Porum down here. And the dolls are not important for anything, so it looks like Sorbius is just going to leave.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that Sorbius didn't check the King-Queen spot. That's the only way you can find out who's in that King-Queen spot is if you go to the king queen spots. So,
But going to the king queen spot requires walking, and it's a lot of walking.
well, then put on their Fitbit and just get some steps in, or whatever.
also-
they have.
If you do find value there, then you can't exit out, and then it's like, do I really want to fight dolls at Rubikind just to chase this when I could just leave and turn in the pink tail and then go underground?
See, here you go using logic on me. Come on now.
I
There you
mean,
go.
what are the odds that D-Mist is there?
Now that you've said that, I hope 100%.
I mean, I'm kind of hoping for it too.
There's always, of course, the D-Mist at Magus Sisters, because, yes.
I mean, D-Mist at Magus Sisters without Earth Crystal is cute, but I want D-Mist at King Queen.
Well, I can't say sell it just yet, but that's a nice. Oh, that's interesting. So turns out we had some Hanzo steel from the pink tail, and then Sheila was doing some weird cooking with a rat tail.
Yeah,
I'm not asking the question. I'm asking the question: what is she doing with a pink tail while cooking, or a rat tail while cooking?
I think she was just making rat stew or something, and the tail was left over, and she's like, "Thank you for telling me about my husband. Here, you can have these leftovers from this meal that I'm making."
But on the bright side, 22 minutes in, Sorbius has completed the first objective of the day with trading away the pink tail. Objective 3. Meanwhile, Marten is doing the good play of going to Ordeals, going to be getting his hook, and then since he does have both the rat tail and the pink tail, that's going to be a one-stop shop for turning that in.
Yes, we'll get a little bit of efficiency out of this in getting both of those tails turned in at the same time. The pink tail for the objective and the rat tail for the potential key item.
While Sorbius is going to be some underground shopping and perusing as to what's all going on. And first up, Dwarf Castle for sure. He'll be seeing that little bit of sushi in the near future.
Yep, taking some time to get all that equipment sorted out.
One of the many hidden bosses, the inventory boss, the equipment boss, the oh my gosh, I have crystal, or I have the crystal and I'm in go mode super quickly, I don't know what to do boss, that kind of simple stuff.
Those are all definitely bosses. I would say the inventory boss is the rudest of those three, but those are definitely bosses. And I missed it on Martin's screen when he checked earlier, but we do have an Octomam in this first spot of Dwarf Castle.
Which Marten did nope out of with a quick reset. Sorbius definitely feeling like he'll be able to take on this spot. The first one is the harder of the two spots, unless you get something super cheeky in the second spot, which would be the Golbez spot. But Octomam, for the most part, pretty quick. But as you take away the HP, the tentacles start going away, and Octomam slows down because Octomam's trying to look for those misplaced tentacles.
The ethereal Octomam that can pass through anything is swimming through this crystal floor today.
Also, what is it about Final Fantasy IV and putting the creepiest of faces on bosses? Antlion, Octomam, lesser extent Mom Bomb.
Yeah,
Having a bad day on the character development side of things. Mylon Z, sure, throw Mylon Z or Z in there. Heck,
there are many rather creepy facial expressions, but just don't look at the facial expressions and it's fine.
I don't want to look at the tentacle. Oh,
But the tentacles are colorful.
where's the face? Emerald Bard in chat is giving the reminder that this is not a cute JRPG.
I mean, there are some cute elements of it, but generally, yes, no, the bosses are not cute.
Well, I mean, the Queen of Ebla looks kind of cool.
Yeah, the Eblon royalty has a pretty nice design, honestly, and yeah, some of the Z sprites are cute.
gosh, I saw one for the first time this morning at like 3 in the morning, and I was 90% asleep. It was an IOU with Z drawn on it, and I had never seen that before. And it was so awesome. But we'll talk more about Z sprites later on when we get to a certain thing at the end of the seed.
While we were just talking about other things and getting sidetracked, Sorbius is through Octomam and learned Quake on the Quack Kid.
Now I'm suddenly hoping for a Mylon Z. Or, well, that's noted.
Odin's not too bad here. He doesn't have that much HP.
Hey! This is a good seed.
We have our Edward.
It's... Oh, no! Odin! Rude! Rude!
Odin clearly does not believe in the power of Spoonward.
No, Odin's just salty that Eddie can beat his butt with a 60 HP, a hope, and a dream.
Odin also does not like people who can cast Berserk. But Odin, you forgot to not like people who can cast Lit too.
Best boy taking one for the team there. Unfortunately, I don't see Edward being too long for this world unless there is a spoon in the very near future, which I hope there's a spoon in the very near future. I haven't heard people
soon would be
in a while.
Pretty spicy.
It would be fantastic.
But Marten is now done with that Mount Ordeals, has the hook. We might be able to see what the rat tail turn-in is soon. As Sorbius gets...
No! Eddie, don't go!
That's a party rock.
No!
That means we might be playing everyone's favorite game soon.
Not mine. Don't get rid of the bard. But yes, rate that nerfed treasury.
It's a little early to say that now.
I'm preparing myself. Okay, I'm done. So, meanwhile, we do get to see that rat tail turn in from Marten, and then Marten will be completing his first objective.
Oh my goodness. Oh yes, the seed.
So, Iridia starter pack, Leviathan and Bahamut, both summons that we have seen thus far, and blissfully no Iridia yet.
This seed just loves giving you gear for characters you don't have.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Meanwhile, we do have Sorbius checking out Tamra and hopefully being a runner for people, finding out the job dwarf. Meanwhile, Marten is going to the Ebon Castle, getting the fantastic news of that shop while checking some cheeky chests. And Sorbius going the heel turn.
I believe Marten checked it earlier, but we were talking about other things and we missed the job dwarf.
Job dwarf was a spoony bard. I'm just gonna call it now.
I don't think Spoony Bard is a job.
You're right, it's a way of life.
I mean, that actually checks out.
Yeah, math checks out there, totally. Meanwhile, as our runners are effectively... Oh, radio and TV commentator, that works. That actually is a perfect segue into what I was going to say. Thank you, Lali. So while our runners are kind of backtracking and rubber banding themselves to their opposite positions, I haven't done a shout out yet, so we're going to do a shout out. Xenocat and I get to just talk about random things and the seed itself while people are playing Free Enterprise and being generally awesome at the game. But there are two people behind the scenes that do so much work and significantly more work than all of us put together. We have Solaris, who any complaints, criticisms, commendations, cheers, all that, you want to thank the seed person and the person that's making everything look pretty. Solaris is the way to go. Tavon is the one that is pushing all the buttons and making everything light up to show you who has what, who has done what, and oh heck, are we in crystal mode yet? So give them some likes, give them some love, some follows, and of course, Xenocat doing some amazing commentary work, so make sure to give them a follow too.
Don't leave yourself out of that follow train, Asuka. You deserve it. You're a fantastic co-commentator, and you do so much work for this community.
I'm just here to make people realize that they will let anybody on the comms booth. Which reminds me again. See, I'm not going for puns today. I'm going for segues. I'm changing it up a little bit. Hope you don't mind. Anyway, with the segue, if you, yes, you, I'm pointing directly at my camera, which means I'm pointing at you watching this right now. If you want to take part in any bit of this wonderful thing we have called Free Enterprise, we have a Discord that has so much information, so many fantastic, friendly, amazing people. We only bite on days that end in Y, so you're safe none of the time, but it's okay because we love you. If you want to do anything involving, well, the restreams, do you want to be a commentator, tracker, restreamer? Doesn't matter. You want to do all of them? Cool, just not at the same time. We still get newspapered. We're always looking for new people. We love what we do, and we love bringing more people on board, so definitely check it out. Give some love. And just find out that it's actually pretty cool. Like, even when Scala newspapers, for even remotely saying that you will do more than one role at the same time. Love you, Scala.
Asuka, it's not that hard. Just don't do more than one role at the same time.
It's what I do! Meanwhile, Sorbius is getting that very disturbing rat tail out of the stew there.
Yep, and it looks like Marten is going to have to make a choice here. Maybe just grinding up right now. Happy with this party?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not a bad play. I mean, you do, at least for right now, I think this team could, with a little bit of an boost, they could probably take on one of the two fights. I don't know for sure. I'd actually say to take on Ogo a little bit over Magus Sisters. A zerked melee attacker, a bluffed Quaker 20. And yeah, Ogo will eventually fall. And with the amount of blinks, heals available, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards fighting Ogo right now. But I also like doing some pretty bonkers things.
Yeah, this is certainly a party that could handle Ogo with some levels. Although this might just be a play to get Quake online before Dwarf Castle, and then heading into Dwarf Castle.
That's true. What's also true is Sorbius is making the right turn. So, ladies and gentlemen and bards of Free Enterprise, it looks like we will be playing hopefully everybody's favorite game of...
Raise that treasury!
Oh boy. That's already a big treasury. Okay!
That was a solid treasury.
That was a heroin robe, 2 Stardust rods, other stuff that I saw, Zeus Gauntlet. Okay.
I mean, that's amazing for Sorbius, because I don't think Sorbius had the Stardust Rod. So
now we have 2.
Yeah. And also Rosa can go burr, and Kane can go more burr, and...
That is definitely one of the nicer treasuries I've seen on this flag set, with no tier 7s being possible in it.
Yeah, the Stardust Rods are great, Zeus Gauntlets are great.
And I don't know what the bow situation is for Sorbius, but yeah, that heroin robe and those there's been plenty of samurai arrows and plenty of other really good arrows on the table. Yeah, that's cute. I like it. But Sorbius is doing some checks, hopefully trying to find that flame dog chest and pull something real good out of it.
Yeah, the one thing that we don't have for the Zerka Rosa yet, a good bow. I think we have an archer bow that Palom started with, and that's about it.
Ah, gotcha.
And of course, Kane is still stuck with a poison axe.
Yeah, that's gotta be rough. But
I don't even know if Sorbius found that poison axe. No, Sorbius has an assassin dagger.
Oh, that's a... Well, the Blizzard Spear...
Oh, there was an ice brand and a blizzard spear in that treasury, so
You know, it's a good day when you have Kane and you're excited to put a Blizzard Spear on as a massive upgrade to your character.
yeah, I mean, the blizzard spear is a weapon. It's functional.
At least right now in Swiss rounds it is.
It does really good damage against Rubicon.
True.
So-
That's yeah. Carrie Grand Chat is mentioning that the Gungnir Spear was available underground if you wanted to spend the money for it. That 40,000 in Sorbius' pocket right now, probably not enough to kind of warrant
Yeah.
buying that spear.
That is not enough to purchase the spear. The spear costs 66,000.
That's kind of a hard pass right now.
Yeah, the tier 5 items, while they are available in shops underground with S quarter on, it's very hard to justify spending that much money just for a little bit of a weapon upgrade.
Martin being a runner of the restreamers, he took an Eddie
Yay.
over second Porum, but still, he took.
I mean, it's hard to justify keeping second Forum.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, but yeah, it's at least Eddie is doing double duty on streams by making sure the floor doesn't block away. But Sorbius is fighting a very interesting fight, considering we do have that lightsaber and a whole bunch of other good stuff for a character we don't have called Cecil. Karate fight's pretty straightforward. If you have a paladin Cecil, it's you need to survive. I believe it's 2 kicks. You bonk him with the paladin, and Karate Man goes ouch and runs away and goes back to sleep underground. Unfortunately, we don't have the Cecil, so now they actually have to fight him, which is it can get a little interesting with a very squishy party that he has.
Yeah, but this spot isn't too terribly difficult other than having a bunch of HP, so I don't think Sorbius is going to have too much trouble with this, although Exit was probably not the spell he wanted to cast there.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing to say or to see, and fun with an asterisk, of course. But Sorbius is through that karate fight, and we'll be getting 2 character checks and another boss and another key item.
Yep. It does look like at this point, Martin and Sorbius have cleared pretty much all the same checks. Martin does have better loot, but Sorbius and a better weapon, but...
So about that Masam, I believe it was a Masamune from the Pink Tail.
I think Sorbius also has a ninja sword, or at least Martin does. This is going to be a very good damage dealer for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, that's damage.
Oh my! The Tower of Zot, even if it doesn't have the goods, it has the damage.
So we have gone from a mage team to we just gonna go burr, y'all. Oh man, that's a. I think Sorbius had to take a moment and go, did I really just get Edge and Cecil at the same time?
Yeah,
Alright.
that looks like did rank Edward at least above Porum.
Yeah! You see that, chat? Edward was above Porum.
Although was hesitant on taking the Cecil, as I think Sorbius does not have the light sword, so only an ice brand for the Cecil at the moment.
Wasn't there a light sword in the treasury?
No, the light sword was in Mist Cave.
Oh, that's right. That's interesting. No, there was a light sword in the treasury.
Oh, there was a light sword in the treasury. I don't know why Cecil doesn't have it equipped then.
Maybe he sold it? I don't know. That's something we can ask for sure.
I don't think there was a shop between the treasury and Zot.
Oh, a cat claw. Almost as good as a charm claw, except not as meany.
Cat Claw is much better than a Charm Claw. Charm Claws are just bad.
Oh no, when
That are
Martin
not
and
the
Sorbius walk
greatest.
back, they'll understand the joke. Or as we like to call it, the Tybalt Claw.
Yes. This Evil Wall, not the greatest boss here, but also this is not a terrible spot for him.
Yeah, with these characters and a couple berserks, they're going to be doing a good amount of damage. Meanwhile, Martin is going to be getting the very good news very soon. But yeah, what's actually interesting about Edge, since now we have Edge on the table, literally, there is a flag on this tournament, and it's words are hard. A brand new flag called Sea Necky. So if you didn't notice, our characters start off necky. Literally necky, except a random item tier or weapon tier 1 to 3. So it doesn't really affect too many characters except Fu, who has bonkers starting gear because he comes in at level 50, and Edge. Edge gets massively nerfed with that Sea Necky. So Edge, being a character that really relies on weapons and gear to do damage, it's sometimes hard to take an Edge unless you have, I don't know, a Masamune, a ninja sword, gear. So yeah, that Edge was instantly in the party. That's not always the case now, because if you don't have gear, Edge is just a siren bot.
Yep.
Dark bot.
The one other thing that Sineki does do is a lot of characters start with iron rings normally, and now they don't, and now it's much harder to magnetize everyone when you're going through Cave Magnus, but Zot looking like it has the value. That's Darkness Crystal, which means the Party Rock has led to the Panic Rock.
And what's really interesting is we've made a decent amount of checks. We only have now 6 key items to show for that. So I don't know about you, but unless there's some massive value in Tower or Fey March, we gotta go bang zoom to the moon.
I mean, that is certainly the case. We have just 3 checks left underground in the keyless tower top of Lower Babel and the 2 Feymarch bosses. And then we have the 7 checks on the moon.
And also, as our restreamer Slayers is pointing out, Kanatsu also is in the Creepy Face Club. Can't forget about him. But yeah.
This is giving me an idea for a flag set where we just hunt down all of the creepy bosses. Just beat every boss with a creepy face.
No. That would be... No. Could that be a Halloween flag?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I need to figure out other things other than the objectives, but...
yeah, it's pretty much just objectives. How do we fight a Shura 3 times? So that is a good question. You fight it with a sparkle, particularly... Nah. Go away, Plague, no one likes you.
Plague also counts in the creepy face category.
Plague just needs to not exist, personally. That's just me. And my very biased opinion on that one.
Plague is fine. He's just annoying.
I roll Plague in super rude spots because Plague hates me. I think that's what it is.
I mean, your seed rolling also hates you.
Yeah, that's true. I don't care if Plague is just misunderstood, Jay Brunter. He can stay misunderstood.
Martin keeping the Edward through Zod. Ditching Palom instead.
Okay, so he's also been keeping Edward down as an anchor. So at a level 5, Edward is a fantastic anchor. That being said, Martin is the face of the scene for keeping Best Boy and having him stare at the floor. But he's still in the scene, y'all.
He's still there. We could find a spoon.
I know. And unfortunately, Edge is probably gonna end up darting it too.
Yeah, that is probably what's going to happen. If we find a spoon, Edge is going to throw it for a lot of damage.
You'll just everything will go in slow motion. You'll just see Ed going, no. sad toot. Flurry saying to throw Edward holding it.
I mean, that could work too. Why not?
Don't do Best Buy dirty, or Best Boy dirty like that, Flurry.
Sorbius now getting the bad news that the Rat Tail Turnin was just a Leviathan summon. For the Rydia that so far does not exist.
Actually, who do you want to see on the moon for maximum troll?
Rydia.
Only if they've sold the summons.
Yes. Rydia if Sorbius sells that Leviathan summon.
To answer a question, chat, unfortunately, Eddie or Edge really can't throw the spoon more than once unless you have a certain dupe glitch on. The light sword's getting darted. That's cute. Unless you have the spoon flag, or jeez, I can't talk anymore. The item dupe glitch. Then you'll have 255 bajillion spoons. At which point, everybody gets a spoon. But this, it's one spoon, one quad 9. Pants Dragoon! The reason the first two objectives are the same in the rando races is for this particular tournament, we have set it so that those 3 are always the same objectives. The other 2 are randomized between boss hunts and character hunts. That being said, everything else is randomized in Free Enterprise for the for this tournament. Actually, just in general. Outside of the tournament, you can make it so you have 1 objective that's randomized, 12 objectives that are not randomized, 6 objectives that 3 of them are. It's completely up to you.
There are so many ways to play this randomizer, and we're just showing off one of them tonight.
You can make seeds that are 2-3 hours long. You can make seeds that are 2-3 minutes long. It's really how the randos.
Yeah. I don't think it's possible to make a seed that is under a minute long, just because the intro of the seed takes a minute.
Who was I talking to? They rolled a seed where it was objective, open the Baron sewer, and you win the game. And if you start with the Baron key, that's, I think, the fastest you can go. I think. But that requires brain power on my end, and I can't brain today.
Yes,
or any day that
I think that was a little over a minute long.
Yeah, fair.
Also, the randomizer has been updated since then, so things might be different.
There's a whole bunch of other fun, wacky, crazy things, especially with the most recent April Fool's joke. Our wonderful Codemaster General Supreme Commander Boardface has done some pretty awesome April Fools. The vintage flag, which I enjoy because I don't like my eyes. The push B to jump, and the current or the most recent iteration, the wacky flags, which are 32 different unique challenges that some are just really hilarious and some are absolutely brutal and devastating. But it doesn't tell you what the challenge is per se, just the name of the challenge. And so you get some pretty, well, wacky things happening. Just like, I don't know, doing a keyless tower. That's a pretty wacky thing. What do you think?
Keyless Tower is not the most wacky thing at this point. We've cleared everything else on the blue planet except for the Feymarch bosses, both of which are pretty rude. Although it looks like Sorbius is gearing up to take out those Magus sisters at the Asura spot.
Yeah, definitely don't blame him. I mean, you know where the objective is, and honestly, 50 minutes into a seed with one objective, our runners are probably getting a little concerned. These two actually, among a whole bunch of people, they've played plenty of seeds together, and they've rolled some heck. So they actually know each other somewhat. They kind of know what they're going to do, what not to do. And they both know they can go pretty fast. So, yeah, like I said, be 50 minutes in and they're not seeing more than one objective, they're going to start really trying to knock off things that they might think their opponents won't do. And as mentioned in chat, from our wonderful King of Pancakes, Pancraz himself, we have more Hanzo Steel on Martin's side from that monster chest. So Edge is good. Edge is straight good.
Yeah, I don't think Edge is going to change weapons very much anymore.
Edge is a happy boy. And yeah, as mentioned in chat, Magus Sisters at Ashura's rude. Ogopogo at Leviathan, also rude. This is a fun Fae March, y'all.
Yes, this is fun. That is the word I would use to describe this Fae March.
It's fun, TM, copyright restricted, all that jazz.
Just the TM is good, I think.
Right. But we do have the first and second sisters down. Unfortunately, the one sister that's left is the one that can revive the other two, so we're a bit on a time crunch right now.
But Cecil is doing some work with that mute arrows and archer bow.
That is a surprising amount of damage coming from that archer bow, but Sorbius was able to get through with a Quack Kid. We do have our next objective 4, done, and we get to see what item awaits him.
That is a thing that you can chase.
That is a key. That is a rabbit hole.
Looks like the Dark Imps have taken over the Tower of Babil and overthrown Dr. Luge and succeeded him as the direct subordinate of the dolls.
Yeah, unfortunately, DMs, we did see you playing with your dolls again, but this is in the category of very interesting fights in that if you have coffins, 3 coffins, this is done. If you have hourglasses, those DMs aren't going to do a single hecking thing, and you're going to get a lot of XP by killing these dimps as soon as those 3 attacks are done. Meanwhile, we do have Sorbius chasing that Luca key, avoiding the moon, which is interesting. I'm actually surprised that both runners are taking their time not going onto the moon. I wonder if it's they're metaing each other right now.
Can definitely see where Sorbius is coming from in his route. Checking that Magus Sister spot, or checking those Magus Sisters because they're an objective, and then chasing this Luca key that is, you go through the sealed cave, you get to see the item and the boss before you have to fight the boss.
That is a very valid point. This will be either a oh nope, I gotta walk this out, or okay, I can reset and never reset foot here again.
Yep. The only things that could be a little bit iffy is if it's a chain item down here, like the Baron key, the Tower key, or the Pan that leads to nothing.
Yeah, and at this point, with so few key items on the board, you really need to walk it out if it's a chain item, unfortunately. So of course, I always love seeing the gauntlet here because I'm a horrible person, especially if it's a required item.
Martin has found the spoon. And Martin has an Edward.
We got a spoon word! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da! Until it's used.
And oh my goodness, that's another Bahamut summon in the sealed cave. So, this seed really wants you to find Rydia.
No Rydia! Only spoon word!
And Sorbius checking that boss because we are looking for Rubicant and a potential Rude Demus, but it's just paled him.
There's a spoon!
But this does mean that Martin did not find a key item, any progression at the top of tower, and Sorbius did not find any progression other than the direct objective from beating the Mega Sisters. So our progression is either on the moon or behind that Ogo.
Ogo! But I'm always cheering for Ogo personally.
It looks like Sorbius is not going to be messing with that Ogo, as Sorbius has decided it's time to go to the moon.
Yeah, and I kind of want to not see Rydia, but I don't know. I'm torn.
Well, Sorbius sold one Bahamut summon and reset out of a second Bahamut summon.
Okay, well, it's dollar store food.
Yeah, I mean, that's an anchor.
And I don't think Sorbius has an anchor right now.
That'll be good news for Marten, because that means that Marten will be able to take the Tella as an anchor and get Edward up to do some damage, because Kane...
No, Sorbius...
I'm sorry, Kane.
Yeah, Sorbius got rid of Edward for Edge and Cecil, and got rid of that Tella too. It's Sorbius. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm really intrigued by this play.
Wyvern, of note, Wyvern is already gone, so the boss that is the most punishing for not having an anchor is not in play anymore, so anchoring is a little bit less of an issue.
That is a very valid point. And the only other kind of super rude boss I can think of is Valvalis, which we have a cane. So with that cane comes great responsibilities in the form of dealing with Valvalis. But Sorbius is going to be showing us that quick check, and it is the three soldiers and officers fight, which it shouldn't be terribly bad here. I'd pretty much call that a freebie.
This is a free fight, but of note, Sorbius is not anchored, so these guys, this fight will be quite fast, and they punch hard.
Okay, so is this, I know this is a very melee intensive spot, but I didn't realize this is also a super fast spot as well.
It's faster than this party is normally, although I think the battle speed is a little bit lower, so...
Gotcha. As mentioned, chat, no coffins, but we do have hourglasses, so there's three ways to take on this fight. One, just power overwhelming, nuke everyone out of existence. Two, you can take out the three soldiers, and then the officer goes, and leaves. Or you can take out the officer and... nice assassin proc. And then if the soldiers weren't hourglass, they don't know what to do with themselves, so they start attacking each other. But with the hourglasses, they're just going to sit there and die and potentially get some life glitches if things didn't turn to stone. Also, Rip Spoon, everybody. Rip Spoon.
Spoon is gone. Edward will probably go back to napping. And that's a power shirt.
It's value, not the value from Cave Value that Sorbius was expecting this seed.
But you keep that.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, I know we have the one power shirt at least on the table somewhere. That second one is going to be really nice for our second melee character, so yeah, don't blame him. But now the big question with the moon, it's always do you go bottom up or do you go top down? Top down has been paying off in dividends a lot lately, but since you are looking for so many key items, I'm kind of inclined to still go bottom up just for that, especially just for that D-lunar spot to get the double check.
Yeah, with so many things at large, I'm very tempted to at least go bottom up and start peeking the bosses. And maybe skip some of the ruder bosses down there.
You know, I was so happy to see the spoon again, only to see it get yeeted again.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Marten is a fan of Spoonward.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's a really, really nice darting item. I believe it does the most amount of damage out of any dart.
It is. The spoon is the strongest dart.
Is that because its strength is set to 255?
Yes. It has an attack power of 255. So it does a lot of damage.
And you know,
I'm really enjoying seeing Mindy take out all of her pent-up anger on Cindy here.
Right? You know, what's interesting is I was thinking why like the strats were so different for Sorbius and Marten for the Magus sisters, and I realized, well, Sorbius has a quack kid, and Marten has gotten rid of his, so he's had to employ different tactics, like darting a spoon at the eldest of the three sisters. So hopefully he will be able to take out Cindy fast enough before she revives her sisters, and yep, just like that, they are gone. On the flip side, Sorbius has found a fiend, unfortunately not the fiend that he was hoping to find, in the form of Mylon Zed.
Yep. Actually, interesting fact, Sandy is not the eldest of the sisters. Cindy is the eldest in the Japanese translation, or in the Japanese version. Yes, it's not made clear in the English translation, but Cindy is the eldest.
That's...
Both Sandy and Mindy address Cindy as older sister.
Oh, okay. I see how that can get lost in translation for sure.
Yeah, that got lost in translation, but yes. Sandy looks like she's the oldest because she's in the back. She's the tallest, you know. It makes sense, but no, Cindy is the oldest.
Interesting. What's also interesting is Martin's also doing that Luca key check, and we'll be getting the sad news that not much of value can be found in this. So after that, I wonder if Martin's going to be tackling that Ogo, or is going to start following the way of Sorbius and going to the moon.
Yes, we will see. So far, we have no value on the moon yet, though. That's just a sand ruby. Sorbius not even keeping it.
Did we look to see who that sand ruby character is?
I don't think so. I don't think either of our runners has been to Kaipo, but Sorbius knows that sand ruby will not be required since we do not have a character objective, and that only opens up a character. It doesn't unlock another key item check or another boss check.
And answering Nova in chat, Luke or Sealed Cave is pointless. I don't remember what the item or the boss.
It's the Bahamut summon guarded by Paladin.
That's it. So really not much of value.
Yes, we want it's more Bahamut for the Rydia that is not appearing in the seed.
That Rydia is probably behind the Sand Ruby 100%.
Oh, for sure.
Sorbius is going deeper into the moon, and we'll see if they make a stop at the Wyvern altar or just go straight down for the condensed checks with the plague and D-litter spots.
But Martin getting the check.
There we go.
Yeah, resetting back to the correct save this time. Get outside the sealed cave.
Yeah, that was definitely a moment of, oh no, that's not good.
Oops, just loaded the wrong save. It's fine. But it does look like Martin is going to be heading to the moon, so we'll be following in Sorbius's footsteps unless he goes directly to the Crystal Sword altar.
It is going back to the fact that Martin and Sorbius, they do races against each other. They know each other's style, so I'm almost not surprised to see this kind. That's interesting. This kind of similar paths. Sorbius is just finding all of the wrong fiends right now. We'll get to see a little bit of Rubicund.
Didn't we just see this guy?
We just did. We also get to see, for potentially a small bit of time, the boss that we're actually looking for with Rubicund. That you'll get to see 25% leg. It's like S-Quarter the boss edition. But yeah, this is this boss can be taken on a few different ways, and you can power overwhelming it. You can lock it in this particular spot with a whole bunch of fire or curative spells. But it looks like Sorbius is just saying, "I'm just gonna go burr, call it a day."
Yeah, Sorbius does have ice weaponry on both Kane and Cecil.
Massive damage for the Ruby portion of that, which is, I think, of the 4 different parts of the elements fight, Ruby is the hardest. At least that's what I've heard from enough
Ruby
people.
is certainly the scariest, as the Ruby form of elements casts some very strong spells.
Gotcha.
The other 3 forms just kind of punch. Oh, but that Fire 3 coming out at the wrong time and healing the elements. It's okay. Kane has mostly got this.
And Edge just took care of it, and sure enough, we are dealing with turtle soup now. I'm not gonna lie, it's interesting to see Edge and Kane do so much damage, and then Cecil hitting for a third of it.
Yeah, Cecil, Ice Brand is not very good.
True. Meanwhile, on Martin's side, Martin is most likely very content with his team and will be doing some King Ryu grinds to get those levels and effectively get Z ready for when he gets to the point where he is in go mode. We're at the point in the seed where there's so many condensed checks left that yes, we've gone a long while without getting much of anything, but we're pretty soon just gonna start getting things left and right. So I don't blame him for this.
Well, you say this, but everything could theoretically be locked behind one key item at this point.
Or one half the forge right there with the adamant and a Baron key.
That is really interesting because that is one half of the forge objective taken care of, and then the Baron key, which has 2 more bosses behind it. Or 2 bosses we don't know, I should say. We do know that there's a blue robe, but there's 2 other unknown bosses with 2 more key item checks.
That is such a hard choice.
And we are missing a lot of key items at this point.
I mean, do you continue to work on the moon? Do you check that Baron key and hope you made the right gamble? That's tough one. Sorbius.
One thing I will point out. Oh, hi, D-Mist. I guess we should probably do this while we're here too.
Yeah, and it's arguably in probably one of the better spots to find him.
Yeah. This is probably better than most other spots, but yeah, with 4 key items on the moon so far. Well, no, that's not right. 3 key items on the moon. Plus a D-Mist, I feel pretty comfortable leaving the moon at this point.
Yeah, I would honestly, if I didn't see that D-Mist right there, I probably would have I personally would have kept checking, at least face checking bosses on the moon.
I would say definitely face check all of the bosses on the moon, because if Rubicant is up here, you probably don't want to leave him behind.
Right. Especially if, say, D-Mist just happened, or Rudy's mom happens to give the forge with the legend sword. So you could go from being one objective done, or two objectives, into, all right, now go fight Z. So yeah, I think that'd be a good strategy to just face check and then D-Mist check.
Yep.
But Martin is getting the not news he was hoping to see with that power shirt.
Yeah. I mean, again, the power shirt is a great item, but it's not a key item.
But I'm actually curious, because again, Sorbius, I believe, now has 2 light swords. The lightsaber shouldn't be doing that little of damage, unless that Cecil isn't back row glitched. I don't know.
The D-Mist is resistant to holy, so that might be factoring into Cecil not doing a ton of damage on Sorbius' side.
That is a very good point there.
I'm pretty sure Sorbius had a bow and arrow equipped on Cecil for the Maga Sisters fight, so Cecil should be back row glitched.
Oh yeah, it was. I remember somebody in chat mentioning that they were doing work with mute arrows, which are fantastically effective against the Maga Sisters. So okay, fair enough. Carry on.
Oh, that's just the case of Cecil has a holy weapon, and D-Mist is resistant to that. So.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess Cecil has been using a bow multiple times. I got distracted by Edward, okay?
That is very fair. Edward is very distracting.
Look at that kid. Look at that, like... Martin. No!
Well,
I need an adult.
I mean... I am an adult.
So am I.
I don't feel like I'm a real adult, but I am adult. I'm an adult, technically.
Martin has gone full heal now, but okay, with Tella's an anchor, I get it. Tella can also use Berserk, Blink. He's darted the spoon. Okay, fine. Fine, Martin. Thanks for the hug.
I think Skull is the real adult here. But
Yeah, I understand the play.
it's a very understandable play, but we here in the booth are both Edward fans, and seeing no more Edwards in the seed is very sad.
Unless we get to see cameos by, I don't know, hopefully a Harp Check, Baron.
That would be nice. Yeah, that is true. We do not know if they're all the dupes characters yet, so there could be a duplicate Edward somewhere.
But all that sadness happening around us, Sorbius has finally gotten through that Demus with the one final virus cast, and we get to find.
Hey,
it's a sword.
Hey, do you want another Masamune?
The Sir Dominance, don't take it.
Sorbius did not get the Masamune that Marten did out of Little Babel, so this is only Sorbius' second Masa.
You know you're rocking a good seed when you say only the second Masamune. So that his edge is very happy now.
Yep.
Now Sorbius is fighting that inventory boss once more. And now we get to see what Sorbius is going to do. Is he going to face check? Is he going to continue fighting bosses? Is he going to go chase that Demist and or Baron key?
I will say the one disadvantage of Sorbius resetting out of that Sand Ruby is Sorbius would have 10 key items if he had kept that Sand Ruby, and would be getting double experience from this point forward.
That is a massively good point.
He reset out. He only has 9 key items and will only get half the normal experience from this Masamune altar.
Gauntlet.
And this altar gives over 100,000 when it's doubled.
No, you are not an alt gauntlet.
Yeah, this is still kind of rude, but
Would you say the second half of this fight is a lot more rude in this spot than the first?
I would say the second half is a bit more rude than the first, yes. The first is mostly just rude in that it will cast weak on people.
Fair enough.
But also the second half doesn't have the boss bits, so it's vulnerable to Hourglass.
Kind of like Demist. Dark Elf, being of the dark element, is very weak to light things like a light sword. So that was a nice little quad 9 that we saw there.
Yep. Cecil with a holy sword says, "Hey, Dark Elf, you need to take a lot of damage." Cecil letting the team down, not getting quad 9s on that second hit. Come on, Cecil, be better.
How dare you not do what you're supposed to do like you did just then?
There you go. That's a real hit, Cecil.
And meanwhile, Pelham's just like, I'm gonna just stop you now. So now this fight is, well, free. Straight up free.
9,400, not even 9,900? Oh my goodness, Cecil.
Okay, now we're just getting weaker. What is
Yeah. Come on, you didn't even roll 9,100, Cecil? How could you?
So disappointing.
Oh my goodness, Cecil. That's
interesting.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, for those that don't really know the package cheekiness, the package check is a very long, annoying check. It gives you find out what the character is right away. Then you have to go through a lot of annoying long cutscenes that are really boring and slow, and then you fight a boss. There have been seeds that have been won and lost by whether or not you checked that package character and or boss, particularly that boss.
We do know that the package cannot be hard required, as you only need 4 of the 5 objectives, and we've already seen Demist, so there's no key items behind that check.
That is a good point.
But if you do gamble on it and find Rubicant and say either the Legend Sword or the Harp is extremely buried,
that could be the easy way out to a quick, in quotation marks, quick objective. Or you could just find Rubicon right here and call it.
Yeah, that package is now completely useless. There's our leg.
So yeah, we was it leg? It is right here, and this spot. How? This is Wyvern. That glare isn't going to do much, is it? Okay.
Wow. 378 damage for glare. One of the most powerful spells in the game. This is fine.
That's. Oh, Ruby skipped leg day today for sure.
Also, Kane with the casual quad 9s.
It's like, yeah, I saw those quad 9, Cecil. I'm gonna show you how to do it with style. Okay, can we appreciate the fact that Ruby's on both screens right now, even though it's not
I
Ruby
love
on
it.
both screens? Golden Shocker leg happened, and now on both screens, leg is gone. In their own respective ways.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a very heckin' free fight for Ruby right here. So yeah, it'll be pretty quick. You can play off of ice and not ice spells with Ruby, whether or not the cloak is open or closed, or you could just use Quake, call it a day, and do damage one way or another.
Or you just use a Blizzard Spear.
Yeah,
That
just a
works
Blizzard
too.
Spear.
Blizzard Spears are just good.
Yeah, especially against Ruby. We do have our third objective finally done, and
Oh, hey, it's a pass.
ooh, this is when you say, "Okay, now I'm leaving the moon. Good day."
I mean, there's nothing else on the moon, but
Absolutely not.
We're-
And
we're extra leaving now.
unfortunately,
We never have to come back here for Sorbius.
unfortunately for Marten, that's not good.
Yeah,
Having
that was a lot of value on that moon, and the pass pretty much takes away Martin's only real easy way to get back some time.
Yeah, Marten would have to hard fade the Ogopogo spots and hope that when Marten does his overworld checks that he chooses the correct route and Sorbius doesn't. But yeah, this is gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
Look, I would be surprised if Sorbius immediately checked that D. Oh no, we're going to Baron first.
Are we? Oh my goodness.
I maybe put a save here and then go check.
That would be
Spot.
probably the logical play here. Drop a save outside Baron, run to Mist Village, just peek the key item real quick. But no, it does look like Sorbius is diving into Baron Castle.
That
Or not. Might have just remembered Demist.
Yep, just remember Demist.
Yeah, that could have opened up an opportunity for Marten to sneak ahead if Baron Castle led to, say, the tower key that led to nothing.
Let's see, and looks like Rydia's mom will be giving us nothing.
Well, I mean,
it's a good bow.
it is a good bow, but not what you're looking for at this point.
It's definitely a case of thanks, I hate it. Now, the weird thing is if I agree, Galahad. If Marten fades the Demist check, that's a little bit of gained time.
Yep, I mean, although Marten is fighting Demist right now.
Right. So it's that's interesting. And the thing we haven't really touched on right now is I don't know if y'all realize this, but this is actually an elimination match. 4 and 2 gets you into the brackets. 3 losses for the most part mathematically eliminates you. So there's a lot on the line right now, particularly with, well, brackets. Just straight up.
Yeah.
You want to go to brackets, you gotta do this.
Yeah, the winner of this match does not automatically get a spot in brackets. They will have to win another race next week in order to qualify for brackets, but the loser cannot advance.
I am suddenly so sad to see a water hag right here.
We could have. You said you wanted this water hag at the beginning of the seed, Asuka.
I lied. I wasn't. We haven't seen Alt Gauntlet yet, and that makes me sad.
Look on the bright side. Alt Gauntlet could be at harp.
I've had my share of harp Alt Gauntlets, and and they have cursed my very existence every single time I've seen it.
But then you get like 5 minutes of music.
And then it ends up being a Zelda song.
That sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem.
Some of us can roll songs that aren't Zelda songs, Asuka.
I wish I was me. That is a wrong color rope. So that's gonna be Mylon and Friends.
Yeah, Mylon brought his personal guard with him to the Baron Throne. You know, actually having guards in the throne room other than yourself might be a good idea.
In the end, the King of Baron was just 4 zombies in a trench coat with a guy in a trench coat under a trench coat.
That's a lot of trench coats.
It's like Quint Zerking except trench coating. It's a Matryoshka doll. It's just with trench coat. I'm burying myself in that one, but meanwhile, Marten has gotten yet another bit of Hanzo Steel, is cabining up, and we will see where he goes next.
And Sorbius has found the Vanilla Sid. I believe this confirms that Rydia and Fu are not in this seed. Oh no, we haven't seen Yang.
Yes, so one of those 3 is on the Giant, and is going to stay on the Giant. But meanwhile, we get to find out...
Well, Giant or Sand Ruby or Package.
That is true. That is true. Unfortunately for Marten's side of things, he is following in Sorbius' footsteps and checking that Ogre spot and going to be disappointed with finding nothing of value other than XP.
Yeah, unfortunately, this Dark Elf fight is free enough that you may as well just take it while you're here because you hope it gives you something, but it doesn't. It's just a package.
Well, today's trash can holds. There it is.
That mode. Someone threw a harp away. I don't know who would do that.
I know, that's rude! There are very good harp players in this game.
One of them was even in the party for a bit.
I know. Now, the only way that this could... I mean, this is pretty much looking like Sorbius's race to lose. The only way that this could potentially swing or make this a legit race now is if this has the Legend Sword. If this is a chain of key items, and Marten does not fight Ruby. He would have to leave the moon, take the gamble, and chase the Baron key right now.
I don't even know if that would do it. I think it would have to be leave the moon, head to the basement check, and head through Baron Castle and get the Legend Sword out of the basement.
Oh, yeah. That is a very valid point there. But either way, we do get to hear in the near future some very fantastic tunes, and Calamity, Xenocat, yourself. Oh, that's right! We could hear one of your songs!
It's not very likely. I don't have that many songs.
We've heard a
Calamity's
couple
done the most of them
already!
There have been a couple of mine, but
we might get to listen to DJ Xenocat 8235513?
it's not likely. I have like 9 songs. But I'm excited for harp music, whether it's mine or not.
Either way, it's randomized, and DJ Spoonie B gets to play one of them. Not Vanilla, and hopefully not Zelda, unless Xenocat did it, at which point I'll allow it. But I'm going to stay quiet now and hope that it's a Xenocat song. It's a song champ. But I'm sad that it's not a Xenocat song.
That's okay. There are like 242 songs in the pool, and I only have like 8 or 9 of them.
But it would have been so cool.
It would have been cool, but the odds are so low.
But this is a really good song. Is this Those Who Fight or Those Who Fight Further?
I don't know. It's very good.
Chat, help us out. Those Who Fight. Okay. Yes, it is Those Who
Yes.
Fight. Because that's
Thank you for confirming that, chat.
It's a pan.
Well, Pan cries no chase. We're in go mode. That's a crystal for Sorbius.
Is. Assert dominance and leave it behind.
The crystal triggering the inventory boss, unfortunately, but
Funny. But yes. So we do have go mode, we have the crystal. Meanwhile, Marten is again following in Sorbius' footsteps and checking Rydia's mom and finding out that Rydia's mom has taken up archery in her pastime of trying to be an anchor.
Yep. And really the only difference between Marten and Sorbius was that little bit of extra looting that Marten did at the beginning and that keyless tower check.
Yeah, that's... What would you say, about between 5 to 10 minutes? No, not even 10.
Not 10.
5?
I think maybe 5, especially since Marten walked out the spoon from the top of the tower.
That's true. As mentioned in chat, Marten did do some grinding, but threw away some of those characters that he was grinding with. But, all that being said, Sorbius is doing some last-minute looting and shopping and checking for goodies and fun stuff, but now's the time to get those certain flags out in chat because it's nap time. But also it brings a very important question to the table, because we can't move Z. Z is too big and too strong, and the void is scary, y'all. So Z stays where Z is, but we can change Z. We can make him look different in 526 different ways. But the only way that happens, well, 2 ways, is A, you need the crystal, and B, you have to ask a very specific question. So, Xenocat, what is that very specific question that we have to ask?
I believe the question is, whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
I always have to do my obligatory 0 word or riot, y'all.
I mean, I would certainly appreciate a 0 word here. But also the more important question is the butt cute?
I don't know how to properly answer that question. Ironically, the question chat, no, Vanilla Z is not in the pool, but there are a lot of different variants of Vanilla Z. Like, Sumerez is probably my favorite variant of Vanilla Z.
There are definitely some variants of Vanilla Z. I'm not going to talk too much about them because there are... I believe that Z sprites should be experienced. But there are some great ones.
That's big!
That is a very big Z.
I mean, it's cute. I think it's cute, but I think really big and scary things tend to be kind of cute.
It is Miria from Breath of Fire 3, as Chad is pointing out. I mean, it looks nice. I'm not sure I would call it cute, but like...
I mean, the wings.
Yeah.
Ring. And like...
Very, very big wings.
Like horns of death and destruction behind her. I mean, death and destruction in the void is cute, or something. It'd be cuter if there was an Edward in here.
It would be cuter if there was an Edward here.
Wait, is she like part snake? Is this another nope rope?
I think so. I think this is another nope rope.
It's a dope rope. I love it. But yeah, Sorbius has a Zerkenburg party. Rosa's going to be doing all the heavy lifting because that's what Rosa does with 3 Zerkers. The 3 Zerkers are just going to, well, go Zerk, and Rosa's just going to put band-aids on them as soon as the ambulance is called by either or any of those 3 Zerkers, like she's doing right now.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Marten is heading up to Twin Harp right now, so pretty much this is effectively Sorbius's to lose. With those HP totals, I don't see a wipe, but Z likes reminding us time to time that Z can, well, make you sad. So as long as there's not a massive over high roll to Big Bang.
A high roll Big Bang into a Meteo could be a little bit scary for this party.
Carice, let me tell you something in chat. It doesn't have a spoon, but there is one Zeramis sprite that does not have muss at the end of it, and it is Zero Ward, which is best boy doing best boy things and kicking the butts of everyone that wants to beat him and throw him out of the seed. That's why I like that one.
It's definitely a good sprite.
It's so pretty, and that is a cute butt. That is a cutesy butt.
But on Sorbius' side, we have had the fake shake. We've now had the real shake. Not doing a nerf for this potential Big Bang. There's that second Big Bang. Does cue the Cure 4. Oh, but that's a high roll. Rosa is down.
Oh no.
There's a Meteo.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, this is interesting.
Oh my. So that evened things up a little bit. Sorbius does have time to do one more attempt before Marten gets here, and does pick up a silk web from that cafe shop.
And meanwhile, as Sorbius heads into Z Part 2, let's get some more harp music.
Yes, more harp music is good. I would guess that that if Sorbius takes another wipe, Marten is right there with him.
I just really love this song.
It's very good.
No, right?
Final Fantasy VII has a banging soundtrack.
No kidding. Heck, most Final Fantasy games, or just Squeenix games in general, have a banging soundtrack.
Yeah.
With that, Marten does get his crystal and will be in a very close location to go to Z. Meanwhile, on Sorbius' side, we get to see another giant nope rope noodle pasta. I'm hungry.
Nope, the Nope Noodle is back. This time a Silk Web will be thrown. This will nerf the first Big Bang.
Oh, I missed that the first time. Did Sorbius not throw the silk web?
He might have done it the first time as well, but I at least did nerf the first Big Bang the first time. But with this many Zerkers going, the slow effect from the Silk Web isn't going to make much of a difference.
That's a fair point, and And Sorbius did get very lucky though with that counter nerf or nuke going right to Sid, so
Yep.
pretty much exactly where he wanted to go.
Yeah, it gets to save the elixir for later.
She's not the note rope, she's the noodle mom. I approve of that.
The noodle mom.
Sausage. Smug rope. I love it. Now, looking at the team comps, I really don't see Marten picking up too much time. The team comps are fairly similar. I think Marten might have a few more levels than Sorbius, which would cause or create or give a little bit more damage, but again, as long as knock on desk that Sorbius doesn't get combo plattered again with the Big Bang into the immediate medio, I'm still thinking this is Sorbius's to win, but who knows anymore?
Marten has done a few extra grind fights, so Marten does have some higher levels here. But if Sorbius doesn't get hit with that wombo combo of Big Bang into medio, this is definitely Sorbius's race to lose, as long as he doesn't wipe to this Z fight.
And I definitely think that after that first Z fight, that nerfing of that second Big Bang might be a little bit higher on the list. The Mooge, if you're referring to the spoon that Marten has lit up, the spoon has already been yeeted at the Magus Sisters, so he doesn't get the free quad 9 of damage, unfortunately.
Yeah, no advantage there, but yeah, just looking at those levels. Well, Edge is... Oh no, Rosa has a solid 400 more hit points.
Yeah, that's is definitely a slightly stronger team.
Looks like Sorbius is going for the nerf this time, which will help.
Yeah, at this point, the only thing that could be devastating would be if that counter nuke wouldn't hit Rosa.
Yeah, but fortunately it just hit Edge, which Edge is expendable.
Actually, yeah, you're not wrong.
Although he was the best damage dealer.
Well, with 80,000 bits of Hanzo Steel, I'm not surprised. Thankfully, we do have media, rocks are out, characters are still alive, albeit barely.
That's very good.
And yeah, with the Cure 4, that's...
Cure 4 getting off, that'll keep Sorbius in this.
And with a little about 12,000 points to go, this should be over very soon. Or it's shut up and say it's one now.
Yeah, that's it. GG's to Sorbius, finishing in first place with an official time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 14 seconds.
That is absolutely worthy of all those GGs in chat, and as Marten is continuing to take on his Miriamus, we will be able to get Sorbius. Names are hard now too, y'all. Get Sorbius into the booth like he is right now. I'm glad you didn't hear me call you Solaris just now. Hi, Sorbius. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You know me. I confuse everybody because I think they all sound the same. GG's.
GG's. Wow. My heart is still pounding.
So that was a heckin' good fight. Yeah, how was your heart after that combo platter nuke into medio?
Yeah, the high roll Big Bang that killed Rosa. Yeah, bad. Very bad. I was looking at Discord because I was ready to type my done, and as soon as I wiped, Marten started typing, and I'm like, well, that's it then, because he started the fight. Now I'm going to be a minute behind. Turns out he was just congratulating me.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference between the two of you was honestly the little bit extra looting that Marten did, and Marten checked Keela's tower. Otherwise, it's been interesting because you two have been following each other's coattails this entire race.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fairly straightforward seed, at least on Earth. There wasn't a whole lot to do other than the one or two things that were open at a time. So I'm not surprised we sort of followed each other around.
And also, really quickly, GG's to Martin has finished his Z fight almost exactly 2 minutes later, at 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 13 seconds. And GG's, and we'll be talking to him a little bit later on. Well, as you mentioned, it was a pretty straightforward seed. Any rudeness that made you pause and go, well, this isn't good?
That demist at Plague Spot was less than ideal. That took a few minutes to get through. I'm glad Martin also stopped to do that, because I think I would have lost the race if he had skipped that.
Yeah, that was a pretty rude spot for demist, for sure.
Yeah, not the worst. I mean, it wasn't next door with 42,000 health, but it had enough, and I was lacking pretty badly in weapons other than weapons for edge at that point.
Yeah, the weapon situation this seed was not the best. We saw light swords, a blizzard spear.
And then just all of the Masamune. Just all of it.
Yeah, edge had something to swing, because nobody else did. We had power shirts for everyone, though, so there was that.
Out of curiosity, we saw you take a save in Baron, go into Baron, pause, and back out. Was that a, oh heck, I forgot Demist?
Oh, it was absolutely I should just check demist in case it's exactly Legend Sword right now. Or Twin Harp, I guess, at that point.
Gotcha.
Before I go through all of the cutscenes and pomp and circumstance of assaulting Baron.
Yeah. Fortunately, it does look like the seed was fairly linear, as that legend sword was just behind that pan from the Twin Harp, so...
Yeah, I never had that far, because Twin Harp was go mode. I would have
Yeah.
fought Excal, but I wasn't going to go out of my way to try and forge it.
No, that makes sense. Excal is definitely an upgrade over the light sword, but it's not that much of an upgrade.
Yeah, it's not like it's a crystal sword you get to forge, right?
Don't give people ideas, okay?
No, we don't. We can't forge a crystal sword.
But yeah, otherwise, any thoughts on, or additional thoughts on this seed in general, or even better? Well, yeah, I'll thoughts on the seed in general. We'll tackle that one first.
It was a pretty straightforward seed. There wasn't really a lot that I struggled with. There were some things I didn't want to do that I ended up having to do. Like the Maga Sisters at Azure, I really didn't want to do that fight, but it was an objective, so you got to do it. And that demist slog, I really didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to lose to that being value somehow. Yeah, other than that, I mean, pretty quick seed. It was nice to have sirens, and although I ended up not using them, so I did the whole moon.
That tends to happen with you runners. It's either feast or famine with those things. So yeah, with that, you've staved off elimination for a little bit longer. You get to fight one more. Well, you get to fight for another day. So what are your what kind of preparations are you looking at for the next week's matches?
Well, I had prepared to be eliminated 2 weeks ago, so I'm not really sure. Probably just play some more seeds, do some pickups, do some asyncs, just try to stay, playing at this level, and I think I might be able just to squeak into brackets or at least into a play-in.
Nice. Xenocat, you have any other questions to ask our winner tonight?
No, I don't have anything in particular I want to ask other than just GG's again on your win. And I look forward to hopefully not seeing you in 3 and 2. I would not like to race you. You're a phenomenal runner.
You're on my list to dodge too, Xeno, so. Real quick before I go, though, I want to thank all y'all for doing all of this. This is a blast. I've only been playing Free Enterprise for a few months now, but it's some of the most fun I've had playing video games. So thank you to everyone for putting this on.
Thank you, Sorbius, for putting on an amazing show, and GG's again on going 3 and 2.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Nighty night. And with that, we are hopefully going to be joined by a very a very awesome gentleman who I'm just realizing what you're about to do on stream right now, Martin.
Wait, awesome gentleman, where? Who? What?
You know, I gotta be nice to you once in a lifetime.
How nice of you.
But you yeeted Eddie in the spoon!
You know... Oops.
Fair.
I mean, the spoon did find use, so it was a thing.
Found use twice.
Yeah, we don't talk about that first time.
Fair.
I mean, I have to say, I am in love with these pig puffs right now.
You know, we had a discussion, and we said that, you know, the winner was going to do it, and I just decided, I'm like, what the hell, I'll just go do it, so.
And also, you there is a card-carrying #1 president and CEO of the Marten Broadcloak fan club right now in chat in the form of Mart.
Well,
richly deserved.
You know what? Win or lose, it's about the entertainment, and I had a great time with that seed. I did. There were definitely some things I didn't do correctly. You know, never berserk going into demist unless you're very sure you're going to kill it before it goes in mist, or well, things happen.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there were definitely some things there I could have done differently. But overall, it was a great time. I enjoyed the seed. Early on, doing Evelyn early and spiking that Stardust Rod, pretty much made the early game nothing. So, and just kind of went from there. So, but all the credit to Sorbs. Played a hell of a race. So, congratulations, AM.
I mentioned Sorbius, the biggest differences between your route and his was the extra looting in Evelyn Cave, and then you went to Keyless Tower and he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, aside from that, it's been fascinating literally watching you two pretty much run the same exact race.
Yeah, I was... Keyless Tower, it seems like, has always been a pretty good play during this tournament. I didn't want to let that one burn me. And obviously we couldn't see what the boss was up there, so I figured, all right, I'm still in a boss hunt, and okay, maybe I can hit a sword for Cecil via the eyeballs on the way up. That didn't play out. You know, Dimps being up there, big deal. Boone being the prize, probably shouldn't have walked that one down, but you commit to the play, and win or lose, you stick with it. So I'm okay with the result regardless.
Yeah, and with that spoon walk down, Dravenheart has solidified president and CEO. I will definitely take vice president and CEO of the Marten fan club for that one.
Well, I'm glad everybody had fun watching that one. I had a lot of fun racing it, so sad to be out of the tournament, but that's okay. There will be other times. This won't be my last rodeo coming into the tournament. For my first tournament, I think I've done well. The whole idea was to at least go 3-3. So we have to wait for next week for that prediction to come true, hopefully, and yeah, go from there.
I mean, with both of you, I've said multiple times, you two, among many others, play lots of seeds against each other, and you especially, Martin, are known for running some absolutely bonkers flag sets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always a treat to watch both of you run. It's always a treat to watch you run your seeds, especially when you literally let chat torture you.
It's a good time. It helps with practice. You learn to navigate things that you normally wouldn't do during a run. I figured that would translate obscenely well getting into brackets, but as is shown, it's not that easy to get into brackets. So it takes a little bit of effort on that one, but I will definitely give it another go around next time, whenever the next tournament may be. So
I definitely don't blame you on that one. You are a scary opponent, so GG's. Any last words? Or...
No, all the credit in the world to Sorbs for a great race. Obviously, both to you and Zeno for doing comms, Solaris and Tavon for doing the behind the scenes work. Everybody in the tournament, I wish you all the best of luck. So there are some very scary opponents out there. So I'm looking forward to getting to relax a little and be a spectator for the rest of the weekend, week 6. So
enjoy that relaxation.
yeah, right.
Yes, enjoy not having the stress of having to play another very intense matchup.
Yeah, the winner go home style. It's definitely a different feeling. There's casual race mode and then there's tournament race mode. So to anybody interested, obviously go join the Discord. Tournament practice is a whole different ball of wax, and you will get better doing this, I promise. So
Xenocat, do you have any last questions for Mr. Friend Professor Dr. Broadcloak here?
No questions, but GG's again on the well-run seed, and thank you for the pig puffs.
yes,
I appreciated them.
Quite welcome anytime. Thank you to all of you.
Geez, and with that, we're done. They didn't kick us out.
They did not kick us out. We finished on time or in advance, but we are now headed over to a race that is in progress. Bad Karma versus Saradin over on the Free Enterprise channel. I believe this is another elimination matchup, so it's going to be hype.
It is they are both 2-2.
But reminder, no spoilers for this race. If you spoil, you will get the bonk.
And it hurts, y'all.
Yeah, no, it does hurt. You don't want to get the bonk.
But with that, thanks again to our behind-the-scenes team with Solaris on Restream, Tavon on tracking, Xenocat carrying this wonderful commentary duo as hard as they possibly could. I'm Oscar424. I hope you had a great time, and until next time, which is literally as soon as Solaris hits the button, night!